Okay, well, so Grandma, you went to university.
No, I went to Lindenwood
You went to Lindenwood first?
for 2 years.
Okay.
Lindenwood College for girls
Mm-hmm.
in St. Charles, Missouri.
Okay.
When St. Charles was out in the country compared to
What it is
St.
now?
Charles.
Right.
Yeah, it's very different. Yeah, it was 500 girls, and it was a wonderful experience for me.
What did you do there? You just went to school studying?
Oh, started in pre-med, really.
So when you went, you wanted to be a nurse or a doctor?
Well, I wasn't sure. I just wanted to go to college.
Sure.
And it was a really unique experience because I had all girls from all over parts of the United States. Lots of them from the South, and I didn't understand the South particularly, but I do now. I learned a lot, especially when you go down there and visit and you're not used to the have and have not
Sure.
society.
And then you went to Iowa State after that, or?
And then I transferred into Iowa State and became a dietitian because I wanted to go into dietetics.
Okay.
Daddy always wanted me to go to University of Iowa because they had a better football team. Sure made him unhappy that I wanted to go to Iowa State.
Things haven't changed.
Yeah, no, and they're the same.
What people tried to say to me.
She had to fight.
In fact, when I was, you won't believe this, but this actually happens because it's hard to believe for people your age. When he took me down to Dr. Nelson for a physical to get into college, Dr. Nelson said, "Why in the world are you spending money on this girl to send her to college when she should be having babies? She's just fit for having babies." And they didn't believe it. He didn't believe at all in educating women at that time. Mm-hmm. So it's a fight all the way to get to go to college.
Yeah. But you got there.
Yeah, but my friends had helped because I had a lot of friends that were going to college. So
she had to
that's the thing you do.
She had to fight to get money to go to college from her dad.
All the time, yeah.
Really?
He didn't think it was worth spending money on girls. and then Robert comes along, and of course he had big ideas for Robert, so he couldn't spend too much money on Robert. And then Gloria came along, and it was a smooth ride because I'd plowed the field.
And Grandpa, did you go straight to Iowa State?
No, I had 1 year junior college in Red Oak, and then I worked until 1940, and started at Iowa State in 1940, and got out in 43. So actually, and I got out in April of 43 because the Navy go back up. I bought an insurance policy from a fellow by the name of Connie Loomis. And Connie was on the draft board in Red Oak, and he came up one time when I was home, and he says, "Bob," he said, "your number's coming up on the draft." And he says, "You want to finish college?" I was a junior, and I said, "Yeah." And he says, "You better go sign up for a Navy or an Army program and get in the reserves." So I signed up for a Navy Reserve V7 program, and got into that, which assured me I could get through college, and then I'd go into the service and become an officer. And while I was in Ames, I had a friend that was a secretary, Friday's president of the school's secretary. Her name was Jen Kestner, and she was a friend of Ruby's, and she had taught at Drake, so I knew her. And Jen told me one time, the Navy is calling some people in. If the government will give them, if the school will give them a degree, they can come in and get started on their commission. And so I said, "I'll do it." And in the meantime, though, before that, I was stopped in the office one day, and she said, "What's going on?" I said, "I've got a date with a beautiful blonde. A quote date on Saturday night." She said, "You want to make an impression?" "Oh, do I want to make an impression?" She said, "I'll let you have Patrick." She had a 1932 Pontiac convertible, green as a gourd, and she called it Patrick. And so waiting on tooling around Patrick for one evening. That was kind of fun. Anyway, I ended up going into the service, and when you got into the service, you were an apprentice. Well, yeah, you were an apprentice seaman, and they paid you $5 a week, and the rest of the money they held back because a lot of the kids didn't know how to manage money, and they wanted to have enough for them to buy their uniforms when they got out. So I saved my money up. I had about $38, I think, $37, $38, and invited Connie in for the weekend. Boy, we had a blast on $38, and it was all gone. And
In Chicago, they did a lot for servicemen, so you could get into the really nice restaurants and the really nice clubs, you know, for little or nothing if you were a serviceman. So we really did the town up.
Anyway, we had a nice weekend, and I thought, well, she's gone back to school, or back home, I won't see her. I came down from the tower that afternoon and went outside, and here she was. I'm broke. My girlfriend's in town yet. So she decided she got a job
I got a job
right near us.
at Wesley Memorial Hospital.
Yeah, she became a
And worked
dietitian.
that summer. And I had lots of boyfriends besides him.
Oh, really, Grandma?
We walked along the beach, and then she had other boyfriends that entertained her differently.
Yeah. It was quite a summer.
She had a good time in Chicago.
Anyway, it was fun.
Well, how did you guys meet? How did you meet?
In human physiology class, there were,
a lecture series in the
yeah.
vet quadrangle.
Well, we had labs.
That's
too.
where I met you, in the vet quadrangle.
And
Should have broken that shoulder.
most home economics classes didn't have boys in them to speak of, but this one had several. And my aunt's, a boy from my aunt's home had was there, and Aunt Marie said to be sure and look him up. So he was in my class, and he was a friend of Bob's. So they'd come to class, huh?
Virgil
Yeah,
Hansen.
and they'd come to class, and I always got to class first because we didn't have assigned seats, so I'd get in there and sit. So if they wanted to sit by me, they had to come over there where I was. I wasn't going to go sit by them. So pretty soon we got to know each other. And Bob was always not forthcoming with anything. So we keep betting on tests who would win. See, so I bet him on the last test that I beat him in a Coke. So then
That was our date.
I won, and he had to take me out for a Coke, and it was the first date. So you sure had to pull strings.
So you kind of tricked him into
And
a date.
you took the sly one
Well, I'll tell you.
there instead of all those that wanted to.
I was a shy boy. I really was. I mean, I was intrigued by all the girls, but I was too shy
And I
to go
was
to them.
not a swinger.
So
I stayed away from all the swingers.
it was fun.
So that's good.
Austin and I bought a Model A Roadster the first year I was at Ames, and we paid $40